The victors valiant, the conquering heroes, and they call home the Big House. Bathed in maize and blue, welcome to Ann Arbor, home of the Michigan Wolverines. The calendar has been circled for this one for quite some time. Throughout the offseason, anticipation for an early-in-the-year top-5 clash. As we'll see the #3 team in the country, the Tennessee Volunteers, taking on the 4th-ranked team in the land, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. The Volunteers will kick it away to start us off. Fair catch called for and made. The offense lining up for a first down play. Use the play fake, now to throw. Gets it out fast. And they pick up just a few on that completion. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season, that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
Using the back as a receiver on the screen. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it.
You know, this linebacker is a special player because not only is he good making tackles in the open field, this guy can cover. And you saw a great example of it with that running back.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And the ball is loose and live in the backfield. He's got the ball, and he'll try to pick up a few.
It's so hard to force fumbles. And when you do, you so badly want to get them. You're crawling. You're doing whatever you can to get there as a defender, but the offense fortunate enough to cover it back up.
The Wolverines will line it up on 1st and 10. The give to the back. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. Here's why this one's so much fun, guys. Early in the season, sort of a proving ground type of game for a couple of squads that believe they could win it all.
And we've heard so much in this offseason, right, about both of these teams and top 10 teams preseason. Now you get a chance to prove it. Like, now you get a chance to see who are the dudes on the squad. These are always fun early in the season, Jesse.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to find out what these teams are about because we've seen both teams beat up on weaker competition. We know they're both very talented, but let's see good against good and find out what they are.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. And there was nowhere to go for this quarterback, and down he goes. And the Wolverines will call on their punt team. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. On the return, it's Brown. They'll put that return to a stop at the 33, but the offense set up in pretty good field position. This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. A first down for the offense. Quarterback run is part of their game plan. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. The Vols headed quickly to the line. One thing you can figure out from these tests early in the season, particularly a top 5 matchup like this, is where you are and just how far you have to go.
Yeah, and which is a talking point amongst your team. It's a prove-it game. Like, let's see where we stack up so we can start building throughout the rest of the season.
You're right, David. It's fun to find out this early in the year between two top 5 teams Just who are these guys? What do they do well? What do they not do well? How mentally and physically tough are they? Because that's going to answer a lot of questions as the season goes on.
Trying to find his man on first down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
Quarterback had no shot on that play. He had a defender bearing down on him. He knew he was going to get hit. I think he should have just thrown that thing out of bounds. He's lucky that wasn't picked throwing into double coverage.
Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. On second down, he's looking downfield. Snagged in the middle. It's Hart. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37.
And a great job by the QB finding the running back, getting the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
And the Vols have their offense in high gear. He wants to throw. Fires to the tight end. Finds a crease at the 20. Almost took it all the way, but a huge gain, and he has him set up first and goal.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
After that huge gain, now a chance to cash it in from just outside the 5. They'll go to the air. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
Quarterback just has to be more aware of the situation. First down, goal-to-go situation. You cannot take a sack. So the QB, if no one's open, you got to make sure you're throwing that ball out of the end zone and helping your offense out.
Forges ahead for 1 to the 8-yard line.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on third down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested situations here on third down.
Looking to the end zone on third and goal. And he wanted to get the score right there, but it falls incomplete.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look there. Third and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
No good. And the score will stay right where it is after that miss. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. David, the punter got some work last time. They'd like to keep him on the sidelines in this drive.
Yeah, it's not something you want to say very often. You don't want the punter out there. This offense needs to get back lathered up and get a little bit more of a rhythm.
Best way to do that, identify where your best players are and just get them the football. Give these guys some touches to kickstart this offense.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's second and 11. Give to the running back. Just searching and working for the running room as he gets it out to the 26.
Just a simple power play. Power football. Be strong, be big, be physical. Make it a fourth quarter game. Make them feel you. Keep them off balance.
And he gets it to the 44-yard line. It'll be a first down.
Well, with the weapons this offense has, you knew it was just a matter of time in the run game before someone was going to break a long one. They've just been running into a wall that just couldn't seem to find their creases and get enough movement up front, but they finally got it there, picking up the first. Let's see what happens next.
They'll try it over the left side. And you can forget running in the middle against this defense.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened.
Looking to scramble. He'll fire to his right. And it's caught inside the 25. They're able to keep him out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 2 after the big play in the passing game.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
The Wolverines trying to cash it in on first and goal.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Michigan.
This guy just has a nose for the end zone, and you love his ability to find creases, use his speed in the open field, and go score. He's been really good for his offense early this year. That already his 5th rushing touchdown on the season.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. To the ground with the back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys and staying in their gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Second down here as they go back to work after the break. He's looking to throw. Release to the back. Caught close to the marker. It's Hart. The expressway is wide open. Past the 10. Touchdown, Tennessee. And once he got away from the D, they had no shot at catching it.
Man, oh man, when you got a weapon like that, you got to find him and you got to give him the ball in space. You have some plays on your play sheet, and some of them just say, that guy, get him the ball, let him do the rest. Dangerous weapon out of the backfield, catching the football, making the big play.
And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. That last drive, an absolute aerial assault for the touchdown, Jesse.
And it was a nice job in play calling, too, David, just giving the quarterback some easy looks and reads so he could go out and execute.
And he knew exactly where to go with the football. Everything looked really, really easy. He was hot. The ball was coming out of his hands. The defense better do something different.
Here comes the offense on second down. Snap it to the back. And that's a live ball. Oh, it looks as if the defense got it. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
I'll tell you, honestly, I don't know what that player could have done to hold on to that football. That defender absolutely popped him. He knocked him into next week. There was no chance he was holding on to that ball.
Not much there on the run. He gets one to the 31.
You know, I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big fellas get lathered.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Knocked down at the 27 after a pickup of 5.
Just a simple power play. Again, not sexy. Run the ball up the middle. Physicality, offensive line gets to assert themselves, run block, which they love to do. This pays dividends down the road in the fourth quarter.
Here comes 3rd and short from the 27. This defense trying to make them settle for a field goal. Power football with the run. And there were some collisions in there, and the D finally stopped him short of the marker. Looks as if they'll send out the field goal unit. The holder's going to line it up right at the 30. This will be a 40-yard field goal attempt. It's good. And with that field goal, they now have the lead. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. San Jose State has the lead right now, but if this team has taught us anything over the years, it's that no lead is safe inside Old Spartan Stadium. They're up by a field goal over the Coyotes. Just another week of college football where we've come to expect the unexpected. Fellas?
Thanks for the update on that one. Kevin, let us know when it goes final. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. And the fumble on that last drive could have been much worse, David.
They bailed him out. They held him to a field goal, so that's the good news. Now this offense has to get it going. Forget about the fumble, Jesse. Move on. Be positive.
And they're upset with themselves, too. They're an offense that pride themselves on ball security. Let's see what they do right here.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll run the option. Solid fundamentals on that tackle from this freshman.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Here on 3rd down, will they go back to the running game? From the gun, wants to pass. Caught over the middle. It's Horton. And they wrap him up, but not before he's got enough for the first down.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Pressure in his face, and he lets it fly. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Well, he didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell incomplete.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. Touch pass on the run. They'll give him a couple that leaves him with 3rd and 8.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the inside.
And a really good job by the quarterback being very decisive. He saw his matchup, he went for it, he attacked it, got the positive game. I would say he's going to find that guy a few more times today.
Looks as if he's going to run it. And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening. This offense has a 2nd down play. He's looking to throw. Floating away. Fires downfield. He makes the catch. Gets him down at the 30 after a 15-yard pickup. They are threatening, and they have a 1st down. And the Wolverines come to the line with a new set of downs. To the air on 1st down. Wiggles free. At the 20, he's got space. And he finds his way out of bounds real close to the goal line there, knocking on the door.
These quarterbacks are nightmares to play. Pretty good coverage on the outside. Man-to-man, nobody looking at the quarterback. He takes off. He doesn't look like a quarterback. Looks like a running back. Chews up yards, gets way down the field, and makes a big play for this offense.
Slams ahead. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line.
Well, at this situation on the field, this defense has their hands full because this running back just seems to have the nose for the end zone. Of course, he scored his last time out. He's really good down here close to the goal line, finding creases.
Trying to break the plane on 2nd and goal. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. They'll hurry to the line here to try to get off that third down play. Just hammer it with this running back again, and he noses his way into the end zone.
And that is exactly what you want from your offense, man. Late in the half, you want to execute and then punch it in physically on the ground. Take the lead going into the half. Take all the momentum. Nice execution on the drive by that offense.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Fielded in the end zone. It's done. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. The Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. Guys, that last trip a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see some of the offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, it just got to be more physical at the point of attack. Get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
They're bringing heat. If the quarterback's a little more on target there, maybe they hook up, but it's an incompletion. They'll try to move the chains on 3rd and short from the 25. Looking to throw for it. Throws to the tight end. Into double coverage, and they made him pay. It's intercepted. Oh, he was hoping to make something out of that return, but they'll have it first down at the 39.
And this ball looks like it just got away from the quarterback. I think he made the right decision. He was going to the receiver that seemed open, but just not very accurate on the throw, and that leads to the interception.
And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was lethal, David.
Yeah, and you know, you hear all these stupid commentators like me and Jesse talking about create balance, run and pass. No, when you throw that good, spin the ball around.
So the defense has to find a way to affect the quarterback on this drive, because last drive he had way too much time to throw.
Off the bootleg, wants to toss it. Got him downfield. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play. The offense will have to use its first time out of the half. It's first down from the 11. Fast motion from the offense. Quick pass on the fly motion. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage. The Wolverines in the hurry-up. He's going to pass on 2nd down. He makes a grab. Takes it all the way down to the floor after making the grab, and they're set up. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play call and everyone on the same page here. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. They'll try to run for it. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. So with only seconds left in the half, here comes the field goal unit. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. And this will be a short one from about 21 yards out. Waning seconds of the first half, and they'll try to tack on a 3 before they head to the locker room. Kick is good. The offense has 3 points to show for the drive. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. And the Wolverines will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Tennessee ready to go to work the Big Orange offense on the field. They start this third quarter, one-possession game, and hoping to get an early drive going.
This offense is ready, and they're ready to take the field here and see if they can get something established. They don't have to change everything and reinvent the wheel. They've had some successes in the first half, so let's get that continued here on the opening drive.
Yeah, and I love getting that break at half to go talk with my coaches and pick my offensive coordinator's brain so I know exactly what I need to do to attack this defense, and I get ball first.
Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. And it falls in complete. But it could have been much, much worse as the defender was right there.
Oh, man, the quarterback almost just threw his second interception on as many drives. He's trying to fit that football in there. It gets tipped up in the air. He's lucky that wasn't picked off.
The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. On third down, going up top. They've got the screen set up. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
And the Volunteers will punt it away on fourth down. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. They had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit once they got down to the goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here, Dave.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now, when we get down there, focus on execution and getting 6 points.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Fires to the right. Oh, picked off. Just a small return, but a big play as they have it now at the 45.
And that's just excellent coverage. Man, cover one, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board, and you still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open, and if I'm the QB, man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it into tight windows if it's not there. He throws it, unfortunately, gets the interception. Bad decision by the QB there.
He'll start this drive firing. He looks that one in nicely. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31. And this big orange offense getting it done in the passing game.
And great execution by the quarterback. And when you think about Tennessee offense, man, when they got their trigger man, and they've had some great ones, Peyton Manning, T. Martin, Hendon Hooker had an unbelievable run. They find that guy, man, their offenses have been so hard to stop.
Comes out throwing on first down. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
Well, you know what they say, tips lead to picks. And the offense there, lucky that one was an interception.
The incompletion on first down. Now they face a 2nd and 10 from the 31. He'll take it himself. Quarterback gets past the marker. Touchdown, Vols! He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him. Quick strike touchdown comes out and jump-starts the offense.
And, man, we see this in college football, so much explosiveness and firepower, and we get high-scoring game after high-scoring game, and it looks like we're on pace for one of those right now.
Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it. Right? If you're going to be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
Well, that's a really nice job surveying the field and delivering an accurate throw. You know, when I think back to Michigan quarterbacks, I think of guys like Elvis Gerbach or Tom Brady, Jim Harbaugh, Brian Griese, guys that could hurt you throwing the ball from the pocket, surveying the field, reading defenses, and making quick decisions. This guy has the ability to do all of those things.
As a defensive guy now, you're always zoomed in on the quarterback. I mean, these guys, whether they're throwing the football or running it, at least they have the football in their hands every time. You know where they're going to be. You focus in. The defense locked and loaded, understand what they were trying to accomplish, doing a good job getting to the quarterback, and then make those physical hits count. Finish those tackles with aggressive hits.
And that pressure just engulfed him. A sack for this defense.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity. You know the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to come up with a big play, but up front they could not protect him well enough.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Buying some time. He throws one to the left. And he makes the catch inside the 25. They ripped off a big one, and they get it down to the 27.
I would love to sit here and tell you that was the greatest play call ever, and the offensive coordinator is a genius. I think that was some really bad defense.
The Wolverines are on the move. Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. He's looking to throw it. Well, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. And he gets out of there and gets some yardage and gets down without taking any punishment.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
And the Wolverines have it with a 1st and 10. He's going to pass. Extending the play. It's complete. Touchdown, Wolverines. And that one will give him the lead.
Man, he's off to a good start this year. That's already his 3rd receiving touchdown. We're only 4 games into the season. I love how they line him up all over the field. And as the season goes on, they're going to keep being more and more creative with how they get this guy the ball.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. A rather inauspicious start with the kickoff out of bounds and great field position for this offense. Line gets set, 1st down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Trying to get to it. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
What a great play. Winning one-on-one, getting home and getting a sack. And that kind of effort is going to get the big house fired up. These 100,000-plus Michigan Wolverine fans are on their feet screaming because of that dominant play right there coming from their D-line.
A big play for the defense with the 1st down sack. Now, advantage D as the offense comes up on 2nd down. Makes a grab and he's dragged down.
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible, and sometimes it doesn't work in the running game, but I can throw it to him. I can try to create some space out wide, dump him the football, let him make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out of it.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Going over the top. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. The critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You've got to be able to make that play.
The Volunteers will line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You gave him the ball, and he delivered the goods. Great job taking apart the defense, Jesse, on that last drive.
He really did, David. I mean, that was a masterclass in just reading coverage and being accurate.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. Nothing doing downfield. He'll cut his losses and throw it away. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, the ball hasn't hit the ground very often for this guy in this game, right? He's even still, after that incompletion, over 80% throwing, which is key because last game he was under 50% on his throws. He went back to work, worked on his fundamentals, and that's really showing up here.
They've made 3rd down offense a key. It'll be tested on 3rd and long from the 28. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Well, in the first half, this offense was up and down the field. It seemed like everything they were dialing up was working. And here we are in the 3rd quarter, and there's a very rare incompletion on their own end of the field. Maybe that's the play the defense needs now to spark some momentum.
Returner goes out of bounds.
Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable, that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
What a great rush by the defense. Understanding, winning up front, getting to the quarterback, and rattling him. Try not to get a penalty, right? Because God forbid you touch these guys too hard, you get called for a penalty. Nice job getting a good clean hit, pressure on the quarterback.
They'll go back to the air on 2nd down. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Oftentimes, defenses see empty sets, and that's when they want to dial up pressure, knowing there's no extra bodies back there to protect the quarterback. They were able to get to him on that one, and that's why the ball was incomplete.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Swings it out to his running back. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the 1st down.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and settle.
Looking everywhere for room to run, but really good coverage, and he'll step out of bounds. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Now the quarterback changing the original play call. Looking for room. It's Horton. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. With the score, Michigan 24, Tennessee 17.
They'll start the drive here with 1st down to open this period. They'll try the run. Finds just enough daylight to work his way up to the 19-yard line.
And ball security at this point is at a premium for this offense. You're backed up in your own end. You've got the lead, so you want to be able to run the football and stay on the field, bleed the clock. But you know the defense is going to be ripping away at it, right? They're going to be trying to get hats to the football and forcing a fumble. So whoever's got the ball has got to have 2 hands on it this drive.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
Makes a connection. And he's knocked down, but not before moving the chains.
He has been the go-to guy on offense all game long. And on a critical third down here in the fourth quarter, surprise, surprise, guess who they go to? That guy.
The Wolverines come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Off play action on first down. Getting some heat. And it's picked off. That's the turnover they desperately needed. Would have loved to have gotten a big return out of that one, but they'll take it first down at the 40.
Man, we needed that so bad. We needed the football, had to get a stop, forcing a turnover. Best case scenario, offense back on the field, trailing in the fourth quarter. Time to go win it.
Short fields make successful offenses just what they want here. They'll put the tight end in motion. They'll run play action. Forced out of the pocket. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
No gain on first down after the incompletion. Now 2nd and 10 from the 40. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Hit as he throws. Working that left side. Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down.
You know, you just can't coach toughness in quarterbacks. This guy's been sacked multiple times in this one, and on that last play, he gets drilled again, but he delivers a strike. I'll tell you what, this guy's going to be in an ice bath after the game.
Going up top on first down. They're trying to get to him. He's going to run it. He was able to squirt free and pick up just a few on that one.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
You know, this offensive line, they just got to hold their blocks a little bit longer. This offense likes to run their quarterback on design plays. And if you can just give him a little crease, he can take it the distance, but they couldn't get it done now.
Enormous play coming right here. Third down, and this crowd is bringing down the house. This is a designed run. Fights his way for a couple, but stops short of the marker. It's 4th and 1.
Quarterbacks generally, guys, we know, they're not as big and not as physical runners as running backs, so it is going to be trickier for them to break tackles. I like the idea of getting the design quarterback run game going, but moving forward, let's see if we can get him out to the perimeter.
And here we go, down to score. They'll go for it on 4th down. Stop short of the marker, and they stop in this defense, and they get the ball back.
And he calls his own number, tries to go get the first down, but he just couldn't get to it. Nice job by the defense, locking in, not letting him get that extra couple yards that he needed to get the big first down.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
How about the difference a week makes for this QB? Last week, man, the completion percentage way down. Just wasn't consistent, wasn't in good rhythm. Right now, looks like he's in total control, and this offense is moving at a way better pace. Looks like a completely different team from last week.
He gets it all the way out to the 19-yard line. They pick up of 6.
And this is a pressing time for this defense. They've got to understand, they're backed up a little bit. They're going to run the football. They don't want to make a mistake. So I think this is the time I'm a little bit more aggressive. I got to get this football back to my offense because I'm trailing. So I look for this defense to get a little bit aggressive.
Pinned just inside their own 20. They need to convert on 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Using the quick game. They get him on the ground, but it's a first down.
And you just get the feeling that this defense has to find a way to get off the field and get the football back at this juncture of the game, trailing late if they're going to win.
They'll snap it from the 25 here on first down. On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Couldn't get him blocked on that last one. Now it's 2nd and 14. He's looking to throw. Coming after it. And he tries to get away, but he cannot. He's taken down. He'll lose a couple.
He has been terrorizing quarterbacks all year long. That now his 10th sack of the season. He's got speed. He's got power. He's going to play on Sundays, and he is not cooperating with this offense's game plan.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And that is a frustrating possession for this offense. You wanted to run the football, maybe take some time. You did the opposite. Got in a bad situation, threw the football, stopped the clock. Not how you manage a game late in the 4th quarter.
On the return, it's Brown. He'll be guided out of bounds, but not before a nifty return on that one. Tennessee ready to go to work the Big Orange offense on the field. These last couple of drives, Jesse, have been about the defense making clutch stand.
I think for this offense, they can stay aggressive knowing that their defense is going to bail them out time and time again.
Yeah, and especially when you go for those 4th down situations, you do that a lot of times because you know your defense can make stands, make stops. They did on that last possession play.
They'll run it out of the shotgun. Open space at the 25. Touchdown Volunteers! And once he found some daylight, it was time to make a house call. Lining up to add another. And the extra point was good, and we are all tied up in the 4th. Coming down the stretch in the 4th, and we are all tied up, about set to kick it away. And he'll return it and try to get behind his blockers. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
Well, defensively, you've got to have an answer for this athletic quarterback. You've got to do a better job containing him in the pocket, or you've got to have a spy ready to make the play and get a tackle.
And this will be picked off, a costly turnover in a tie game. Even with minimal gain on the return, they're working with a short field from the 36.
It's the plays like that that are going to end up defining and deciding this game, right? It's tight. Tie game, 4th quarter. Someone is going to step up and make a game-changing play, and the defender did right there.
And the offense takes over to dip into its bag of ball plays. Looking for a crease. It's Hart. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. They'll go to the ground. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, good call by the defense there. They dialed up blitz into that running play, and the linebacker able to make the stop.
Big 3rd down as the crowd gets behind this defense. looking to throw. They're setting up the screen. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before. They'll recycle that down marker.
Hey, man, sometimes you get the perfect play call at the perfect time. That time, the defense blitzing, offensive line allowed everybody to run upfield, and they slip in the running back screen, and behind it, there was nobody there to make a tackle, and this offense generates a massive play.
They'll leave it with him. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense. Man, oh man, the ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way, at least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there, he didn't have it.
They'll keep it on the ground. And he was able to run through one tackle, but still only a modest gain. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Third down, and this crowd is tearing the lid off this place. The give to the tailback. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. So on fourth down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. It's good, and that was dead solid perfect. They have taken the lead in the final seconds, guys, and the celebration has erupted on the sideline. That late clutch field goal put them on top. They can almost taste victory if they can keep them from scoring to tie or win the game. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. He's trying to get them set quickly. They have to get the ball into field goal range. They'll throw it on first down. Still looking on the move. He wants a big play here late. And it's picked off for the third time today. And that pick will seal the game as the clock strikes 0. Guys, that one was a ton of fun to call, and the players, a lot of games sort of wash away in the memory bank. Not that one. That will be an indelible mark in their memories.
I agree, Reese. You know, I think back to my career at Florida, and just the games that stand out the most were always the ones that went down to the wire, whether we lost or whether we won. For this team, this is going to be a good memory moving forward, David, because of how well they played tonight.
Did you lose more of those or win more of those? I'm just asking for a friend. Tennessee, what happened? Hey, yeah, it's big-time clutch, right? These are the ones that define your seasons, define your careers, and the ones you never forget, those heartbreakers that come down to the last play.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been